Hey, you guys, I want to welcome you as you come on in. Please make sure to introduce who you are and what it is that you do. What do you tutor? We absolutely welcome everybody inside of our community. Lots of people have been having some great experience, some great success with being able to join us, and it has been incredible. I absolutely love the ability that we have to be able to network with each other and be able to create success for everybody. I am just going to hit pause on here real quick so that you guys don't hear the reverberation from, I think that's the word, from it being on mine end. Awesome. So I've got an entire amazing group for you guys to be able to join us and be able to really just hear the stories. Last week, you got to hear the stories of what I call my Tutorpreneur heroes. These are the people that are just killing it in their business, and they've received the Tutorpreneur hero for being a great group member and for being able to just really be of value inside of the community, inside of the group. And on top of that, they're getting results. They're getting students. They're doing it. They're getting those results that we all want. They've received the Tutorpreneur Hero Award because of that. And so their experience is going to be very different from somebody who has just come on in. And it has been who has just come on in and just joined us, let's say, from brand new in the community in the last 3 months. And so what I've done today is I've invited people who just joined our community in the last 3 months to share their story, their experience, and what it's been like for them. So the very first person that I'm going to be introducing today is Yvette Hansford. So Yvette has this incredible story. She is a online Spanish tutor for kids and adults. And she started out joining our community. She didn't really have too many of her own students. She was using some other platforms to be able to get students. And then she joined our community so that she could start getting her own students and kind of step away from the platform, make more money, and be able to do that. And she's been getting some awesome results. And I don't want to ruin it for you guys because this is pretty awesome. So help me welcome you guys, Yvette. Hey, Yvette.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm super excited that you're able to join us today because your story is so rock star out there, incredible. So tell us, before you joined us, what was tutoring world like for you?
Well, to be honest, I had no idea what I was doing. I knew my subject, I knew Spanish, but I didn't really know how to teach it to other people very well. I had some ideas, but I didn't really know very many strategies, that kind of thing. And I had no idea how to find students. I found some platforms, like you said, and I started to get a few trickling in, but had some difficulty there for sure.
Yeah. And so why did you want to become an online tutor? What motivated you to move into this field?
Yeah, so I've always loved the idea of teaching and just the idea of sharing my love of languages with other people, and also online tutoring in particular will and has already allowed me to have an income and do what I love to do, even though my health sometimes doesn't allow me to be very mobile and active outside of my house. And so it just gives me another option for my career that allows me to be very flexible. So
yeah. And I actually learned this on one of the calls. I didn't even know this. I had no idea about what your situation was. And do you feel comfortable sharing with people what your situation is?
Sure. So I have spina bifida. It's a disability that I was born with, and so typically I'm able to kind of move throughout the world. But recently I've been having a ton of health challenges. I had surgery in December, and so I was honestly looking for something to do while I was recovering, and also thinking about, okay, if I need something that allows me to be more flexible like this throughout my life, what can I do that, I don't have to be outside my house consistently. That would give me that flexibility that, okay, if something like this happens in the future, my world doesn't fall apart because I can still have that flexibility.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And so I learned also, like, you're part of like this amazing sport. Tell me about that sport that you're part of.
Yeah, so I played sled hockey for 6 years, and it's this sport where anybody can play. It's for any ability level, any disability level, and so you are on a sled and you propel yourself with 2 mini hockey sticks, and they have little ice picks on the bottom, and you propel yourself like this, and then you hit the puck with the other side that's shaped like a typical hockey stick that you would see anybody play with. So it's a ton of fun. It's a great workout. I mean, I am exhausted after every single practice.
I've never even heard about it before. So it was like when you like opened my eyes up to like a whole new world. And it was at that point when you were sharing about that I didn't even realize that you're even in a wheelchair.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was yeah. And it's it'll be on the Paralympics. If anybody wants to watch the next Paralympics, that's one of the Paralympic sports. One of my friends who was on the team is hoping to be in the Paralympics in a few years. So anyway, that's pretty cool.
That is really cool. That is awesome. And you're going to be like, I know her.
Yeah, I knew one.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. And Lisa says she is so proud of you. She says you are just a rock star in your business. So,
thanks, Lisa.
You decided to join. What was like your big reason, like why you wanted to join the Insider Secrets Club?
Yeah. So I had found, I believe I found you either through YouTube or through a webinar, one of the two. And so I was looking at your YouTube videos and all of that stuff, and I found the Ultimate Support Group for online tutors, and I was like, this is awesome. I love the support here. And then I learned about this Insider Secrets Club. I was like, this is what's going to take my business to the next level, and this is what's going to help me grow. And so I was like, I need to join this thing. So that's why I wanted to join.
And then so as a newcomer, like what was your experience coming on into the group?
Yeah, so I mean, it was just an incredible experience coming. I thought I was like a little bit nervous that I would be completely behind, but with the beginner's call and everything, that was completely not the case at all. I was just welcomed into the group with just open arms, and just any question that I had, no matter how big or how small, was just answered with, just welcoming. And it was awesome. The beginner's call has been fantastic to be supported in a group of like-minded individuals, and so it's been really neat.
All right, and you've been getting some awesome results.
Yeah, it's been really, really neat, and it wouldn't have happened without this. I'm convinced of that.
So what are the results that you've been getting as a member of the community?
Yeah. So a few weeks ago, I would say I started to really see a few more students come in and get start noticing my website and start signing up for consultations and things. And I think that's because I start putting in place some of the steps that we've talked about, in the Insider Secrets Club. The welcome video on the website, that was huge. All of that kind of stuff. So now I started at zero, a big zero students when I came into the Insider Secrets Club, and now I'm up to 5, I believe. So super exciting.
That is exciting, and really that's all happened in a matter of like just a couple of months. It just really just started happening. You're already starting to get referrals.
Yeah, I got my first one yesterday.
So that is so phenomenal. So for a new person who's like, gosh, I'm kind of on the fence. I'm not sure if I want to join the Insider Secrets Club. What would you say to them?
Oh my goodness. So yeah, and that was me, honestly, because I wasn't sure about the money and everything, but I've said this over and over on comments, and I'll say it again, that it is worth over and beyond the money. It is an investment that has paid back tenfold what it's worth, and it's just been incredible. So I'm sorry, I'm not very eloquent, but that's what I think about it. It's just been so incredibly beyond worth it.
You know what I love too? I just love that we'd be able to get to know each other like so much more and really can support each other. Like nobody feels alone in this industry because we all have each other.
Absolutely.
Which is so cool. Well, thank you for sharing like your experience and what it's been like and where you're going. So where do you see yourself in like the next year with your business?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I am about to graduate, Lord willing, in May. And so I am hoping to take this full time to be able to hopefully support myself, be able to live on my own someday if my health allows, and all of that. So that's where I see myself in a year or two, maybe. So
that's awesome. Fantastic. Well, so glad you found us and you started taking the right actions. I know you started trying to utilize some other strategies, and lots of people like to use these strategies in the beginning. They're like, let me try Facebook ads, let me try Google ads and all that kind of stuff. But we don't know enough about marketing. So for those people who are like, oh, it should be really easy to get students using like Facebook ads or Google ads, what would you say to them?
Don't do it. Unless you have a marketing expert or a marketing degree, don't waste your time doing it, because it was just a huge money waster for me in the beginning. Come to this group, come to all of the calls, learn from everybody, because you will save your money and you will learn so much more and be so much more effective than you could be otherwise, because that was just a huge waste of so many resources for me, and it didn't bring students. So ineffective.
No, and it's usually like one of the first things that people think of. So if you've been in that boat as well, like don't think like, oh my gosh, why did I even do that or anything? This isn't about beating ourselves up. It's about like learning from our experiences, and lots of you right now can learn from our experiences of like, if you don't know anything about Facebook ads or Google ads, like even if you take a course or 2 courses or 3 courses or 4 courses or 5 courses, I'm going to tell you, unless you're an expert and you know what you're doing, you probably shouldn't go that route. Not until you feel real comfortable in the whole like marketing area and you can nail that message. And so we'll teach you some of the strategies to be able to nail that message and be able to get clients organically first. And then if you so choose, because you don't have enough clients, which usually isn't the issue, then you can start going and start, playing with some of those other platforms where you have to do some paid advertising. But until then, let's get you found organically, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And you mentioned being found organically, and that's the other thing, being part of the Insider Secrets Club. I never would have been confident enough to even make a welcome video for my homepage. That was really hard for me before, and just all the encouragement and everything that's in the Insider Secrets Club, just all of the support led me to be able to do that, and that's led to people finding me organically, like you said. And so I just wanted to point that out.
Well, thank you for sharing your story. Now, you guys, we've also got Daniel Didio in the house, and Daniel, he has been helping ESL students, and he's been teaching students from China he has like an immensely huge number of students, student hours that he's actually had, like tutoring students. And he also helps other teachers and tutors who want to be able to start doing this as well. And he's creating a platform completely for them. So Daniel, how many hours do you have with like teaching kids ESL online? Oh, you're on mute. Let's unmute you. How do we unmute you? All right, I think, let's see, is it on your side where you have to unmute? It's not on your side. Let me see if, did I do something wrong? Let's do this. Oh, here we go. Unmute. There we go.
There we go.
All right, we got it. All right, so Daniel, how many hours did you work with, have you worked with students online?
For the last 3.5 years, I've taught over 22,000 online ESL classes to kids.
I know, isn't that insane? Elizabeth's look.
Yeah. So for me, it's fun. It's like teaching my kids. So for me, it's not stressful. You know, I know the platform really well I work at. So it's just fun for me. It's like talking to my kids. So it's easy. I can put in a lot of hours and it's not really stressful for me. So, you know, that's why I like teaching, you know, ESL online to kids. I'm not going to country anymore. You know, I'm staying put with my family. You know, I'm around for the school events or when my kids need me. And I think that to me, that's really important.
Absolutely. So you're finding a lot of flexibility and being able to like just manage your time and be a dad to your kids.
Yeah, it's much better, I think.
Yeah. And how old are your kids now?
My youngest daughter, she is 12 years old. My son, Gino, he's 13. My eldest daughter, Myron, is 15. So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So our kids are all like around the same age. I've got a 12, 14, and 16-year-old. So. And you guys are going to be going to Thailand soon.
I know. Mid-July, we're going to go there for 10 days. We're taking the kids. This is the kids' first time, you know, leaving the Philippines. So they're really excited. They got their passports now. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the cool thing too, you guys, because we are from all over the world inside of this community. So it is not just like a group for like people from the United States. It's not just a group for people from the UK. It is a worldwide group that we got going on. We've got people from India, we've got people from Ireland, and we've got people from London, and just like we've got people all over the US, Canada, everywhere, Philippines. We've got it all inside of this group, which is really, really cool. So why did you decide to be able to join the Insider Secrets Club?
Well, for the last few years, I've been mentoring teachers how to teach ESL online to kids. I had my own program, and I mentored over 525 teachers. Plus, I did daily calls with them. And for me, there was a grind because of the daily calls and everything else. And I wasn't sure, you know, should I stay in Facebook? Because my Facebook group has over 21,000 teachers in it. But that Facebook group is helping teachers find jobs. And that's my passion, but it's not my long-term passion.
Yeah.
So, you know, I gave all that up, all my websites. I want to start from scratch to really focus on something that I want to do long-term, that I'm passionate for long-term, not just the short-term. I'm not a recruiter. So should I really be helping people find jobs? I did a pretty good job at it. And, you know, my website was getting about 12,000 hits a month, but that's not really my passion. So after a while, it became a little bit of a grind, and I really wanted to focus on really what I really want to do with ESL kids and curriculum. So.
Yeah, and I'm excited about the platform that you're creating specifically just around that, to be able to help other tutors who also want to be able to teach ESL and all of that amazing stuff. So as a newcomer, what has your experience been like inside of the Insider Secrets Club?
It's really, really helped me out a lot. Like before, I was kind of just trying things, and some things were hitting, some things were sticking. I had some things stick really well, but I really had no direction. And, you know, when, you know, in some of the videos that when you did the keyword analysis and SEO, those tools really helped me to dig deeper into my niche. And from there, I realized that everything now that I'm doing for my website, because I'm still building my new website, I really need to dig in deeper than I was. And, you know, having Terry there, because Terry just, if it doesn't work, she just grinds it out, you know? And then when I think about things, I'm like, okay, I just need to grind this out. and like certain things for my website, like double spacing and things that you just tell us kind of casually, I remember as I'm going through, and all those little things are gonna, I really feel compared to my old two sites are really gonna help me do really well in my niche.
Yeah.
So I think that's the key for me. And the weekly calls keep me on track and make sure that I'm doing the things I need to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's really cool too, because it's all about like networking too, because there's also going to be this group of people that are ESL teachers that they're hearing too about like your program, and they're like, their eyes are perked up and their ears are perked up and like, like, I wonder if like that's something that's going to be a good fit for me. And I really do think that it is all about you guys collaborating with each other and not competing with each other. And you hear me say that like all the time, but really all the things that we can do for each other in collaboration are way bigger than anything we could ever create in competing with each other, right? Yeah.
It really helps out a lot because people in our group are doing different things. They have different ideas on how to get students. And, and that helps me, even though I'm just creating my website now, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
If I'm doing it by myself, I can't see all those things. And it's really difficult to stay. I'm motivated anyways, but it's sometimes it gets more frustrating where I can, with the group, I can ask more questions. I can get things solved quicker so I can get built the right way.
Yeah.
So that's the key for me.
Okay, so I saw this image. So I'm sitting in the airplane the other day because I was hanging out with my girl Yvette, and I was in the airplane, and you guys, like here I am, like this is the image of me in the air, right from my plane, and I'm like looking at that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is perspective, like right here, right, like. When we're just getting started, we're on the ground, right? And we're looking up and we're like, oh, am I ever going to be able to get up there? Like, how am I going to get up there? Like, I don't even have an airplane. Like, how am I going to get up there? And then there's me, like in the airplane, been doing it, been there, like been doing this since 2010. And I've got like this whole different perspective. But then not only that, you guys, I got a whole plane full of people that are joining me in this whole different perspective, right? That have done this, been there, done that. You mentioned Terry and all these other people that I've been able to lead and help grow in their business. And we're all looking down being like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see that mistake that you're making. So if you do this instead, that might work, or try this or try that. And all of a sudden you're getting the right advice from the right people versus people that don't know our industry, and I think that makes like a really huge difference as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I really think it does, because I was in other groups before, paid programs, and they just didn't really go into the level of detail I needed for, teaching ESL only kids and helping tutors. It just, I think they held back. I really think they did. And the reason why I joined this group is because it's successful tutors that they've done it, they've been there, and they understand where I'm coming from. It's not the marketing piece. If a marketing guy tells me, well, you need to do this, well, I don't know. Is that going to work for my industry? I don't know if it's going to.
Right.
So I don't know if I'm getting the right advice, and I don't need to waste my time. I'm busy enough,
Yeah.
I really need things so that I can really think about it, hash it. I know it works. If Terry and Suzanne is doing certain things, I know those things work for us.
Right. So. Exactly. And to have that perspective is just golden. I mean, it's almost going to it's going to catapult you into the right direction faster than if you try to do this thing all on your own, or try to just go to every single website you can, or every single YouTube video that you can to be able to learn information. You're getting like the right information, like right out of the gate to be able to get what it is.
And it helps me right now. Like I'm doing, I'm kind of focusing on how come up with a strategy for my blog, and it's really making me really research and study the things I don't know.
Yeah.
And sure. I wasn't doing that before. Really.
Yeah, we are always, and just so you guys know, we are always researching, studying, and staying up on top of like what is working, what's not working. Because guess what worked like 3 months ago might not be working today. Right. Like, I don't know, you guys may have found one of my videos about Thumbtack. It doesn't work anymore. Like, they've changed their whole entire process and it doesn't work. And so we've all like pretty much just left Thumbtack because we're like, all right, well, that's not working. Let's see all the other things that are working and let's continue to work on those. But we're always growing. We had a great call today earlier on our tech call, because that's one of the calls that we have is it's just all about tech. And we were actually talking about like for our websites and linking, and what's the difference between linking on your website and backlinking, and how does that affect like how people can find you? And we were all growing in our knowledge just having that conversation together.
Yeah, it was good.
which is really, really awesome. So for a new person who's just like coming on in and they're on the fence with, I don't know if I should, I don't know if I shouldn't, what would you say to them about joining the Insider Secrets Club?
Well, I've been doing it by myself for 3 years, and I really feel this gave me more focus. The weekly calls keep me on track. And the different ideas on how to find students, because of the experience of the people in group. I've never had that before, and that helps me kind of think outside the box and come up with some new ideas for myself and how I can find students.
Yeah.
So for me, how much it is a month, that's not really the issue. The issue is it's keeping me on track. It's keeping me focused. Even though I know I'm only building my website, I've been doing it for a while, but it's really making sure I'm building it right. I'm doing the right things SEO wise, and that I'm not on the website talking about me. That empathy chart really helped me to create my website based on teachers' needs.
Yeah.
And I think that's really the big thing, and that's why I got rid of my old sites, because the old sites really focused more on me, and I don't want people to see that.
Yeah.
Even though I was doing really well, I don't want someone to pick up that video interview I did and say, oh, it's all about him. So that's why I'm starting from scratch again. So.
Yeah, and it doesn't work real well either. We see like tutors all the time, like the very first website that any tutor will pretty much turn out talks all about all the experience that they have, all of the degrees that they have, and maybe they've got some testimonials on there because that's always good. They know that piece needs to be on there, but then they'll put like the name of like the first name maybe of a parent and say like the parent, or like they won't even put a name, no image, they'll just say the parent. So there are just some things that like every tutor kind of does in the beginning that actually repels people from moving forward with you. And we teach you how to attract the right people to you. And it's about speaking their language and their way to be able to attract them into your entire system that you're creating. So, I think so. Yeah, well, I'm so glad that you shared your experience and that you're here with us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
We've got another amazing tutor in the house today. We've got Alan. Okay, so Alan, I actually have never asked him how he pronounces his last name. So I'm not going to try to mosh it up. I'm going to ask him first. So this is what I always do with people when I'm like, oh, how do you pronounce that? Because I don't want to mess it up. Now, I might not even be able to do it. Okay, so Alan, how do you pronounce your last name?
My last name is pronounced Tsao. You actually pronounce both the T and the S. Kind of like it's unusual to be at the beginning of the word, but I think of the word like cats.
Yeah.
That TS sound, Tsao.
Mm-hmm. Tsao. Mm-hmm. Did I get it?
Yeah, that's good.
I did it. I kind of did it. Tsao. It's hard. That's not easy.
Yeah.
Why is that not easy? Tsao.
Yeah, it's just unusual. I mean, when you say cats, that sound comes very
sounds
easy.
Normal, but you put it at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it messes it all. Now you do math and science online tutoring.
Yeah, I do a lot of, and tend to be higher level, high school, college level. So my most common students are like AP Physics, AP Calculus, Statistics. I have some electrical engineering students because I majored and studied electrical engineering. So, but I've always had a passion for tutoring. I was an electrical engineer for 11 years. So, but I just quit to go full-time tutoring back in April, right before I joined this.
Yeah.
So that was a big step. So yeah, that's kind of, I was looking at the time, I was looking for networking because I was like, okay, I'm on my own. I want to meet with people, community. And that's where I started your Facebook group. And that's kind of how I started. I was like, look, I want to connect with people. I want to connect with other people who are very serious about doing tutoring.
Right. Because
there's a lot of people who tutor part-time, like I part-time tutored for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And I was doing pretty well. On top of a 40-hour job, I was doing 15, 20 hours a week of tutoring, right?
Yeah.
It was a busy full-time for me. And but there's a lot of people who are sort of, casual, they do on the side, the teachers, which is fine. That's exactly how I was. But once I quit, I really wanted to be meet with other people who are very serious and very dedicated, people who are successful and mixed levels of success.
Yeah.
See people who have been doing this longer and see where I want my career and my business to be in the next 5-10 years. This is a very long-term strategy for me, right? So
yes. That's awesome. And, and I often get people who say things like, oh, well, I'm already getting clients. I'm already getting students. And so like, well, I don't really need to join the community. What would you say to somebody like that?
Well, I would say there are some videos that helped me focus when just even before I joined the group was things about the ideal client. Because I remember thinking like, yeah, I take on students and I don't really enjoy that work with a student. Like there are some students that when I worked that hour, it was like not a good hour. Like it was fine. The student did well. It's just I didn't enjoy it because I didn't like tutoring that subject. And
Yeah.
I know I'll probably get a lot of flack from some people, but I don't enjoy, even though I do a lot of math, I don't enjoy SAT or ACT math tutoring. It's just not something I enjoy. I find it very, for me, just kind of repetitive and just a lot of practice. I put a lot on the student anyway. So for us to go through things, I just don't enjoy it. And that's just something I enjoy helping my students, but I didn't enjoy doing that. So, but sometimes I take on students because, I just want to be busy, right? I just want the extra student. I want to fill the time. So I do want to fill my time with the students that like when the hours go up and I'm like, oh, sorry, I got to run. I have another student. I'm sorry, we're running late because the hour just went by so fast.
Yeah.
That's like kind of, what I would like it to look like I have a vision of what I want the business to look like.
Right.
And even though it's not just being full, like I don't like, for me, I set myself short-term, midterm, and long-term goals. Like that's how I think about things. And so, yes, short time is being full. That's a fine short-term goal. But like long-term, I don't want to just simply be full with just whoever wants to pay me. Like that, I won't necessarily enjoy all of my time. Because if I want to tutor 30 hours a week, I need to enjoy those 30 hours of constantly talking and constantly engaging. And if like half of that time is just me not enjoying it, like I'm going to be drained after those 30 hours. Like,
yeah.
So.
And so that's why we become an expert in one specific area, right? And a piece of that is because it's the area we enjoy the most. We wouldn't mind doing it over and over and over again. But on top of that, it's also about just like really enjoying what you do on a daily basis. Like you want to be able to love what you do and like wake up and be like, oh my gosh, I get to, not I have to. And that's really, really awesome because we could all fill our time up with students, but they might not be our ideal students. So we want to be able to attract those students to us. And so you were making that transition and from like, okay, I'm leaving my job. I'm going to do this full time. What was your experience as a newcomer into our group?
I think it really helped me to, like I said, like I was looking for community, like of support, and the ultimate like Facebook group is nice. I mean, it is good. Like people can share and talk things, but to actually like sit and talk with other people who are like very serious and dedicated to it is like kind of helpful. I make it analogous to like my students who come like some for tutoring, because I make YouTube videos and there's a lot of people who, when they're learning a subject or learning calculus, they want to watch YouTube videos, they use Khan Academy, and they piece all these things together to try to put it together. But people still need tutoring because putting that all together, all that free stuff together doesn't necessarily assemble a complete set of like knowledge and experience that you really need. And so for me, the Facebook group is great. I'm pretty active. I try to like, help out where I can and answer questions, at least that I know. But it's missing a little bit because like with these the group calls, which honestly I haven't been able to make because they're a little early for me and my kids are all really young and I got to help get them ready for school and everything, or just feed them breakfast and everything. So I haven't been able to make a lot of the calls, but that's my goal, is to work with people who are very serious about improving their work, and there's always things to improve. For me, it was after I joined, I improved the website. I did a much better job with the intro video. It's made me rethink about blogging. I wasn't even considering blogging when I had originally had my website before. So it's making me think about that versus podcasting. I'm still like debating that in my head. It's given me, I brought in my own ideas. There are things that I want to do with my business. And so that's not unique to the group, but the group has given me a lot of really good ideas of things that I hadn't really considered before. And when you're just talking with other people who are experienced, who are further along in your like like where, you know, there's some people I see like Daniel, for example, is where I want to be in 5 years, like that kind of, or, you know, in a few years, I kind of see that. I had a great talk with Lisa the other day. She's like a couple of years ahead. And I don't look at it as a competition. I look at those are the people I want to aspire to be like.
Yeah.
And they have their business, you know, and this is what they did. And it wasn't all easy. They made a lot of mistakes. They made a lot of turns, but to just tap into that experience has like been really helpful for me, even if I haven't been on the calls as much.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you've attended every single like beginner's call that we've had inside of our community, which has been fantastic. And one of the things that we do in our community is we find out what times work best for people than when they're first joining, because we want to be able to support you guys in the best possible manner as possible. So I know lots of people are like, well, what time are the calls? Well, they change based off of who's joining the group and based off their needs. So we created that group just specifically for those new folks that were coming in the door and saying, okay, we're creating this group just for this call, just for you, to guide you through each of these beginning steps. And then you're gonna be able to come into all the other calls when it works. But we also record all of the calls as well. So you're able to access those calls even if you can't come live to the call. Let's say you're teaching during that time, tutoring during that time, or you are with your family at that time, then you can watch it later on. And Juliet Bostock, and she says that her entire family has seen me on YouTube because they watch the replays, they watch the videos and all of that. So I just want to give a shout out to your family, Julia, because I know that you've got lots of birthdays going on for your little guy and for your husband. Little guy was on, I believe Tuesday was his birthday, and Sunday is like your husband's birthday. So shout out for your family and their birthday. So if you guys are watching, happy birthday to you. Awesome. We have, and you know, we got a question in here from Maria. She said that she's planning on joining the Insider Secrets Club after, and she wants to be able to start her own business and quit working for an agency. Woo! That's exactly what we've created this group for, is those people that want to be able to stop working for the other companies or stop putting their information where all the other tutors are, right? And becoming a meat market, and instead being able to let people see your value shine through you by attracting your audience to you versus going on out there to all those other places and spaces. So how many students do you have right now, Alan, with your tutoring business?
The summer, so the peak I was doing about like in April when I quit, I was doing quit my job. I was doing about 35 hours a week. The summer has died down. I have like maybe 6 or 7 students, I think.
Okay.
I do each week. It's going to kind of fluctuate. Some are taking a little bit of break. And so pick up and they want to do stuff in July. Yep. Some people want to like pick up in August, which is okay. It kind of, in this area, schools are just finishing up. So,
right.
Like, so I kind of had some students like finish up last week. So it's kind of been a nice dying down transition and then ramping up again. I actually wanted to intentionally take the summer. I'm still like posting some Craigslist ads and I'll take on a few students here and there, but I'm not actively trying to like fill up all of my time. Yeah. Because my goal for the summer was to do stuff like this, build the website better. I see someone commenting about creating a course. I'm creating my own course material that I was going to get feedback from the group once I was done with it for students to subscribe to, or for my own students to share, just sort of like a resource to give to my students to learn, not just during our sessions, but offline.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of aspects of the business that I'm looking for the group. And so that's my summer plan, is really for the next 2 months, is kind of like improve and focus on the website and the business side. Yep. And I know when the school year starts, I'll be pretty busy and
oh, for sure. And lots of people, they have that supplemental income where they are creating courses. I mean, it just fits in so nicely with what it is that we do to be able to get that supplemental income from that specific route, which is awesome. So thank you for sharing that part. Yes, because somebody was commenting about that they wanted to be able to create courses, and they're wondering if the Insider Secrets Club would help them with that, or is it just face-to-face tutoring? I think the beautiful thing is there's a mix of tutor specific things that we talk about. So if you're creating a course, Hello, I've created like a ton of them. So ask any questions. We've got a question answer call every single week that you can ask a question. You can ask questions inside of the Insider Secrets Club. We've got places and spaces for you to be able to grow. And then I do have an online course where I like bring a group of tutors deeper into that specific area that they can also join as well. But yeah, it's all the different aspects of our whole entire tutoring world and industry are a part of this, and you get to network and collaborate with other tutors that have a very similar vision to you. So whether you want to be able to tutor face to face or tutor through like kind of like selling some courses and groups, it all starts with figuring out who your audience is and being able to attract them to you. If you have no audience, you will sell no course. So I always tell people, selling a course is no different than being able to sell your tutoring services. You need an audience. If you have nobody out there looking for what you have to offer, then you are not going to have people that are going to buy your course. So those fundamental marketing strategies that we teach inside of here are going to be pivotal for creating courses and selling those courses as well. So for that person that's on the fence about joining the Insider Secrets Club, what would you say to them, Ellen?
I would say overall in the scheme of things, like the cost is not that significant. But what you're tapping into are people who are very serious about their business. Okay. Like when you join general Facebook groups, or there's all kinds of people who are all kinds of different levels, and some are very serious and some are not very serious, and you can get advice from a lot of different people, and that's fine. But here you're joining a group with pretty commonality interests. Like we're really serious about doing the hard work and to build the business. So I would say if that's what you're looking for, which I think you should look for, I think everyone needs to have a network of people that have mentors and people that they can help to just sort of support any part of a business, any job you're doing or anything that you're doing. And this is the group that's going to do that, right? Mm-hmm. So, if you're looking for that, that's what I would say is the biggest sell. Like this is an investment. You think of it as an investment in your business. There's lots of investments I make into the business. I buy webcams. I buy a good microphone. I buy these things, and I do these things to improve my business. And so you just have to evaluate whether or not you want to invest into your business and make those improvements.
Yeah, I think the cool thing is and a lot of us have gone on to college, or we've gone on to get our masters and that kind of stuff. And lots of people will say things like, oh, I went to college and I went to get my master's but I don't know if I want to really invest in this, buy this course. It's not really a course, you guys. It's a community, like Alan is talking about. It's a community of people that are going to support you as you're on this new journey. But it's one of those that is going to make you more money, whereas going to college and learning how to teach didn't actually teach you how to make money. Right? Like here, we're teaching you strategies to be able to make money. So by investing in that, you're learning how to be able to market your services, which lots of us didn't have that background in doing that. So thank you for joining us, Alan. I appreciate that. And then we got my girl, Yvette. Woo, woo. Yvette and I got to spend the weekend together and got to hang out at the Teacherpreneur Summit, where she had lots of gurus that were in the room, and they all got to share different marketing aspects to help teachers who want to be able to leave the classroom. And Yvette has been in our community for about 3 to 4 months. I got to personally meet her as she came to my very first retreat down in Cape Coral, Florida. And I got to know Yvette even more and fall in love with her. And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce you guys to Yvette Temple.
Hey.
Hey, so glad you are here. It's so funny seeing each other back on the screen, isn't it?
I know, right? You got in touch with you.
So Yvette, when you joined the community, you kind of joined the community. I think you were approached me and you're like, hey, I've got this summit I'm organizing. Would you be interested in speaking at it? And I said yes. And then pretty soon after that, you became a member of our community as well. And I have found that there has just been so much value from just our relationship together and us really connecting together and just opportunities that kind of open up as a result of that. You oftentimes meet other teachers who are looking to start a tutoring business. And so you're like, gosh, like I really want to dive more into this industry. I might want to tutor. I'm not sure. So you're kind of in that like that thinking phase, not really sure what you wanted to do for joining. What made you make the decision to join us?
Well, I was in a free group for a while, so I was following what was happening, and it's like thousands of people with so much knowledge and information. And I'm like, I need to stay a part of this. And I didn't know about the Insider Secret Club until you opened it up again. I was like, wait a minute, she has a whole exclusive group. I'm all about the VIP, honey. I want to be a part of that.
Yes.
And then when the retreat came, I said, wait a minute. When is this? So it was actually my last week of school because I'm still in the classroom here in Florida. And I'm going to make it happen, hold my spot. I'm coming.
Yep.
So I do help other teachers start their own online business. And I have a group of teacherpreneurs in my own group that some want to be consultant, some want to be tutors, some want to start, online. They want to do products and services, t-shirt things, whatever it is. So I'm like, I'm not the expert in tutoring. Joanne is. I can help. I've helped clients to make money by tutoring. But I'm like, this whole community over here is where I need to be.
Right. Yeah. And I'm so glad that you decided to join us. And you guys all know that like my whole philosophy is collaborate over compete, right?
Yeah.
Like no matter what it is, whether we're coaches or whether we're teachers or whether we're tutors, like I really feel like the more that we collaborate with each other, the like more positive karma you're putting out there in the world, and you never know what can happen as a direct result of that. And so when I like even approached my husband about even coming to the Teacherpreneur Summit, he's like, oh, you've got to go. Like just go. And I'm like, all right, I'll go. And like, I brought my little introverted self on over. And we had a great time. So it was a lot of fun. And so we've really gotten the opportunity. Now, this is kind of like a different aspect. So you guys, if you want to be like somebody, or if you want to learn something that somebody else is doing, join their community, right? Like, and I'm not even saying just join like my group, my Insider Secrets Club, but if there's like somebody like that you really emulate, like online, or you're like, gosh, I think I get a lot of value of that. Don't just sit in the background, like join it, right, Yvette?
Yes. Because one of the things that I said in Cape Coral was, this is the community. Like I've been coached by 2 other amazing coaches, 7 6-figure coaches. They're doing their thing, but they aren't teachers.
Right.
So they don't understand the teacher life or the teacherpreneur life. And when we're already coming from a certain background or area or knowledge and skill set experience, where they come from banking or corporate America, they don't understand a lot of the trials that we have as educators.
Right.
And the budget we have as educators, when they say, go get this and go buy that too, and get this resource and do this. It's, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And then also the advice that is often given, which doesn't like work in our specific industry. Right. Like, and every industry is going to have like their own price points and that kind of stuff. And so I think to like falsely like throw some of that stuff out. Like I was sharing with Yvette over the weekend that I had somebody in this one networking group I was a part of tell me that I wasn't charging enough my tutoring services and I needed to charge $200 an hour. And I was like, okay, I don't think this lady gets it. I think she's just throwing numbers out there. Like it's not based off of market research. It's not based off of, it's just like, she just is telling me like, oh, like whatever industry you're in, you're not charging enough and you're not making enough money. And it's like, you know what? I'm very happy with what I charge. I'm very happy with what I bring in. And you know what? I'm not going to let other people belittle me because I charge $75 an hour and that's not at their level, right? It's, I feel like I am doing really, really well, and I'm happy to be of service to my students. And I get people who are serious about doing the tutoring at that level. So it's pretty amazing industry to be a part of. So as a member, you've actually been experiencing our community more in a in-person kind of format versus like online, because you've been so busy with the tutoring. So you've actually gotten to hang out with me in person, like in real life. Like what has that been like? Twice.
It's been twice. Alan, I haven't been able to get on a lot of the live calls, because I was planning the event. So, the event. So having to be with you in person made such a huge difference, because one of the things I kept saying in Cape Coral was like, this is community. This is community of, a lot of people want to say like-minded people. No, these are my people. These are educators. These are teachers who get it. Who get when you come home from work with 100 and however many kids in middle or high school, or your 30-something kids in elementary school, and you're dead tired, but you still push forward to work your business. We get it.
Yes.
This is the community, right? So working with you in person, it was like, I kind of felt a little awkward in Cape Coral, because I'm like, I'm not really a tutor. I'm thinking about it, but I don't want to really tutor again. I did tutoring years ago and I hated it. But the online tutoring thing, wait a minute, because I like going live and I like this Zoom thing. This might be something I need to reconsider.
Yeah.
So and then being there with you, having that one-on-one time in Cape Coral, that's priceless. That's priceless.
Well, and then I had a lot of fun being able to do that. And you guys, you know what? Like when we were in Cape Coral, we had immediately the day that I let them know where the next one was going to be, we immediately had like 3 people sign up out of the 5 that were there.
Yeah.
So like, if you're thinking about like, should I be there next year? Like, it's not should I, it's how will I? How will I be there?
Yeah, for me, it was such a learning experience. And then, I told you about the visualization activity, right? And you were here at the summit and experienced it.
Yeah.
You just asked Alan, like, where do you see your business in 5 years? And I smiled and kind of laughed, because I'm like, that was what she asked us in Cape Coral. And she went 10 years out, guys. She was like, so what do you see your business in 10 years? And I'm like, television. I said, TV. I want to be able to reach more teachers and help more teachers. TV is massive. You can have your own little channel now and do all this stuff. I said TV. I didn't say Oprah or Ayala Van Zandt or any of these kind of people. I didn't even know how it was going to manifest. Lo and behold, the morning of the Teacherpreneur Summit, I got a call from a local television station. At first I thought, I was rushing around and I didn't know. I was like, would they please stop calling me? I'm coming downstairs, I'm coming. And I saw the caller ID and I'm like, well, okay. And then this automated thing came on. We're trying to reach Yvette Temple. If you're Yvette Temple, please press 1. I'm like, are you serious right now? I got things to do. And I pressed 1. This lady came on the phone and she said, this is Miss So-and-so from WPTV. We're sending a camera person over to da-da-da. And she didn't even ask. She just told me. We're sending a cameraman over to your event at the Holiday Inn. He'll be there at 9:30. And I was just like, oh, okay.
And like that, you guys, that night she was on TV, which was like her 10-year goal right there, right then. Boom.
Crazy.
And you know what? You kind of, we started like looking at your funnel, like, let's take, like, you want to get people at your Teacherpreneur Summit. Let's take a look at that funnel right now. Like, I know that you're thinking about like the online tutoring, but let's really look at the funnel for what you're really trying to build right now here. Mm-hmm. And so you guys, it's all about teachers supporting teachers, tutors supporting tutors. It is all about just bringing you from where you are to where you're at. So if that's of interest to you guys, click on that button that I sent in here where you can find out more and join us. And I don't have a closed door date yet. It was going to be tomorrow, but we've got a little bit of background issues happening on my website right now, but you can all get on in. You can still pay to get on in. You can still get on the live calls. You'll be able to access all of the stored videos. Everything's working on everybody else's side. I just got a few issues that are happening on my side. So I am going to be able to keep the doors open just a little bit longer than I had originally intended. So if you're not in the door yet, you definitely want to get in before we do close those doors. So definitely check it out. You guys, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your stories. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart of just like where you're at, where you want to go, and why people should join. So Yvette, why should people join the Insider Secrets Club?
Because this is the community for teachers. This is the community for teachers, for tutors, that you want to really take your business to the next level. You want to really hone in, like Daniel said, and go deeper. This is where you need to be.
Yeah. Awesome. Well said. Well said. Well, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.